Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gamersledge podcast. E3 is upon us. It's come, it's gone, it's still going technically, but ends on Friday. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, ever present here in the top right corner of the screen, and joining me with us today is, of course, Matt. Hi, Matt.
Howdy.
And, of course, Mitchell. Hi, Mitchell.
Howdy.
And Kate was here. She wandered off. She'll probably wander back in at some point. Oh, man. There has been lots of stuff at E3. And so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about all the stuff we saw, talk about the various things that shocked us, surprised us, that looked really good to us. And then we'll, at the end of the show, we'll tally up our prognostications for who is the best E3 fortune teller. I have a feeling it's not me, but we'll find out. In the meantime, besides that, Matt, have you played anything this week that we should know about?
No. I don't know. Last time we talked, I finished was it Valiant Hearts, the World War One Ubi Arts?
Yeah, which I'm sad to say, no new Ubi Arts things this year at E3.
Yeah, no. Ori was the closest thing we saw when we were seeing that at the Microsoft show. I kept thinking, man, this looks like a Ubi kind of style game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally got around to playing that. Finished that. Not sure exactly when I did that. But I've got Rise of the Tomb Raider queued up to start, but I haven't started it yet. Yeah, I think that's really it. I haven't really had much. Watched the season finale of Legion last night.
Don't tell me about it. I still haven't started season 2 yet.
Man, so
I'm looking forward to it.
So Dave and I are the only ones that I know that have seen it. Ian is still in season 1, so and then the show is almost custom made for him, so that's kind of hilarious. But so yeah, we got. Is it the season finale tonight of The Expanse, or is it? Maybe there's a couple more episodes left, maybe of that. I'm not sure.
A whole season, in fact. Thank God.
Yeah, for
thank
you,
you,
yes.
Amazon. No, thank you, Amazon.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then we finished. Shoot, what was the name of that show we were watching, Mitchell?
Timeless.
Timeless, yeah, season 2 of Timeless, which it's already survived cancellation once. They canceled it after season 1 and then decided not to cancel it. So we'll see how if they decide to come back for a season 3 or not.
Which one is Timeless?
Timeless is the people with the time machine that travel back in time to try to stop the other organization from messing up history.
This is the one with the guy from Will and Grace. No,
that's Travelers.
That's Travelers. Sorry, I just want to make sure I wasn't getting it confused in my head.
No. Timeless is on NBC, and Wyatt, Lucy, and Rufus are the 3 main characters. I couldn't tell you the actor and actresses' names of those 3, but
okay.
Yeah, no, it's kind of one part Quantum Leap and one part. Oh shoot, what was that old show with the old guy the guy and the kid with the watch?
Are you kidding? Like the Travelers? No, Voyagers.
No,
Voyagers.
Yeah, kind of some, not literally, but some elements kind of.
Okay,
like that.
You totally just push this over the soul department for me because you had me at Scott Bakula.
But yeah, so it's
Mitchell's so confused right now.
We'll talk later. But yeah, it's not great, but it's
9.9 Gamersledge.
Well, it's one of those. It's entertaining, right? I wouldn't call it high-end TV. It's not, Game of Thrones or, Westworld or something, like that. But it's just kind of a good old-fashioned primetime entertaining show and actually treats time travel pretty well. So, yeah. Other than that, I've just been busy. Really haven't gotten around to much.
Mitchell, how about you? Have you played anything or done anything since last we spoke before we dive into the E3 conversation?
I've been playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory a lot, as my playing options have been relatively limited. I played some Marvel Lego, the first one, and I've touched into Bloodborne in the late hours of the evening.
And you played the
But
first level of Blops 3 last night.
oh yes, I played some of the campaign from Blops, and I've been trying to keep up on my Smite. But overall, yeah, that's about it. And of course, the regular phone games and stuff.
Nice. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think. I have. What have I done? I have played Trials Fusion until my eyes started to bleed. Pretty much. That game is weird. It's like Excite Bike, only much more difficult, and and techno, and cats with guns on unicorns, and it's really good, surprisingly.
Like literally or spiritually?
No. There is literally you can drive a cat on a unicorn that is wielding a gun, and there is a button to eject him off of the back of the unicorn. It's pretty hilarious, actually. It's really it's weird, but it's really like the game is stupid hard, but it's fair. Like every time I do something wrong, I did it wrong, as opposed to, I can't blame the game because I pushed too far forward or too far back. And it's a stupid simple mechanic. It's the same as, it's the exact same as Excite Bike. Lean the thing too far back and you fall off the back and die. Lean the thing too far forward and you fall over the front and die. And that's it. And the rest of it is, how well you can read the ramp at whatever speed you're going. And it's surprisingly a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And then during the E3 PC conference, I learned that there was a fantasy-based battle royale called Realm Royale. And you can be like an elven archer, or you can be like a dwarven engineer, or all these different things. And so I've been playing the bejesus out of that. And that is also ridiculously fun. I'm not good at it, but it's got some interesting things in it that the other ones don't do. So it's been kind of holding my attention a little bit. I also downloaded Fortnite for the Nintendo Switch because I'm like, oh, I can play this, in bed or something and have some fun with it. Except that I can't log on. Thanks, Sony. You can't see me, Matt, but I'm just sighing into the microphone.
Yeah. I see your sigh.
Okay. So yes, that's there seems like there's something else that I'm forgetting. Oh, I played DDO a little bit, but Dungeons and Dragons Online, and I'm still having fun with that. But that's did we talk about the crew? No, we haven't been on since we did the crew 2
no
beta. Okay, so yeah, I was in the crew 2 beta. The game is ridiculously fun. It covers every vehicle known to man. Like dune buggies, check. ATVs, check. Motorcycles, checks. Luxury cars, check. Hypercars, check. Drag racing cars, check. Street racing cars, check. Racing boats, check. Airplanes, check.
Submarine?
Maybe like a hidden one. I don't know yet. I'm seriously, there are so many vehicles that it's crazy, but it does change like a lot. They have the Pokemon Snap. I don't think we talked about this in here. They have Pokemon Snap 3 different ways in this game. So you could be driving around somewhere, or better yet, in the middle of a race. But we usually ignore them when they're in races. But there'll be something on the screen that says, "Oh, there's a fox nearby. You need to take a picture of it, and you'll get $15,000." And you just stop what you're doing, and you immediately go into photo mode, and you try to find it because it's somewhere in your field of view when you get the alert. And so you start looking around with the camera until you find it, and you zoom in on it and take a picture of it, and you earn $15,000 and a bunch of social media followers. So it's just like Pokemon Snap in that way. But then there are two other modes. Like, one of the other modes is, oh, you're in Washington, D.C. Take a picture of the Capitol building. Okay, that's easy. Done. But then the third mode is, find this spot and do something stupid in it. Like, go to Times Square and take a picture of yourself doing a donut in Times Square. And you get social media followers, and basically followers are the level indicator. You level up when you get enough social media followers, and that means you can do more and bigger races, and you have to, that type of stuff. But it's interesting because, you'll be like, oh, get a picture of the Capitol building. You'll be driving along, and you can just switch to a plane at any point and get an aerial shot of the Capitol building. Much easier than you could if you're trying to drive around. And it really does kind of give you this fluidity to think outside the box compared to what you would normally do in a racer. By the way, somebody like me fully appreciates that I can just turn into a boat in the middle of the street and sit there blocking traffic. That is hilarious to me. But, I mean, that it gives you the ability to do that if you want. Plus, there's collectibles to find in the world. Like, you'll be driving along and you've got a radar, and suddenly it'll start pinging. And you can follow the radar, and you'll find a random loot drop just somewhere in the world that you have to go find. And the nice part is, like, all of this is enhanced by you being in multiplayer. You could play the game all by yourself. But, like, for example, if you go to do one of the races, you can actually, like, the goal of the race will be to get in the top 3. Or if you're doing it on hard, it'll be to win. And if you don't win, but your crew is in the race, and they do, it counts for you, just as it had counted for them. So that's kind of a nice thing. It's like, I think it's a nice evolution of a kind of MMO style for this racing game. It's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I already pre-ordered it based on this. There's going to be an open beta for everybody that'll start on June 21st. You can download it now on the PS4 store, so I would recommend doing so. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing in all my free time.
So now the crew one was kind of more of a serious is probably the wrong term, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? This sounds pretty goofball wackadoodle.
It's not. How can I explain it? So in the crew one, the interesting thing was that you could drive cross country in a race that would take no more than like 20 minutes, right? That's like the longest one. In the beta, they locked us down to 5% of the content for any given race. So if you did like 5% of the content total. So basically they provided 3 of each race. 2 or 3 of each race. They provided 3 street races, they provided 2 boat races, and they provided 2 airplane airplane stunt races. That's all they gave you, but you could travel across the entire United States if you wanted to in the beta. There was just nothing to do. Like, there were no drag races. Oh, and there were 2 off-road races. I forgot. Oh, off-road racing is a thing in this also. A separate thing from all the other things. So, yes. I think it is going to be that. When you do the races, they are serious. When you do, like, the jumps, or now they have events where you try to break a land record somewhere you're not supposed to be trying to break a land record. Like, do 145 miles down the Vegas Strip during the middle of the day when there's traffic. It's it usually ends up in a crash or whatever. But they have a lot of those types of things too. So, I mean, yes, you're right. There are more goofy things to do in this, but I think it's straddling that line really well between way over the top arcade racer and somewhat serious competitive racer. I think you could play it either way you wanted to.
So like if you're doing a car race, you can't just turn into a plane and then end up at the line and drop in, and so everybody's trying to rush down the river or fly or whatever.
Yeah, no. When you do a race, it's straight legit.
Okay.
You can only do the switching and that type of stuff when you're in what I would call free roam. When you're not in an event of some kind.
Right.
But I played it with a couple other people. The beta, absolutely just ridiculously fun. We would do races together. We'd go out and try and find land speed records or drift records to break. Then it became helping each other get more parts, or because I didn't even touch on the customization. There is like a ridiculous amount of customization for every vehicle in the game. It doesn't matter if it's a boat, a motorcycle, a plane, a hypercar, an F1 car. It doesn't matter. They all have customization, and it uses MMO loot drops basically. So if you score first place, you might get 2 rares and an epic or something like that if you're doing it on hard. And then you can put that on any vehicle that accepts those parts. So obviously, some boat parts don't transfer over to some car parts, but some do, like a motor or a nitrous or something like that. So it's kind of interesting in that you have the flexibility to do pretty much whatever you want, but there's a lot of depth there, and there's a billion cars, and they're going to give you 2 new cars and a mode every 3 months in this game with the season pass thing, which is what I'm getting. So yeah, check out the open beta that starts on the 21st, and again, you can download it now from either the Xbox store or the PSN or on PC. Shall we talk about the E3s?
May as well.
So nobody showed up, and it was very boring. I'm kidding. There was so much stuff there. I can't actually put any of the videos into the thing because of the thing. We'll just put the Sony one up in the background because we'll get distracted by it later, but that's fine. YouTube.com. We'll just put it on silent because we're still not streaming to YouTube. Hooray.
Such fun.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So Sony E3. It'll be funny because we'll get to watch them herd everyone out of the church again.
Probably.
By all accounts,
that's probably the lowest point that went across, and that wasn't even that low compared to stuff.
It wasn't, but I heard a lot of people saying that they knocked it out of the park, and now they're really kind of losing with this whole crossplay thing with Fortnite, one of the biggest games in the world. Whoa, no,
that was a lot of loud.
That was a lot of loud. We'll just okay. There we go. Put it down super low. There we go.
Nope, they're coming for you.
Again.
Bleedoo.
So no, the show started out with EA doing their press conference on Saturday. They had interesting stuff. I don't have my notes, so I don't remember what any of it was, but it was super useful. I'm super prepared here.
I see EA. What did they have? I didn't see the EA show.
Probably Madden, FIFA.
Yeah, there was sports.
Yeah, actually, not as much as you would think. To be honest, they kept it relatively light this year. Didn't spend the hour of time on it that they normally do. They
announced. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just pulling up my notes. Go ahead.
They announced the new Star Wars game. Is that Remedy that's making that one?
Yeah, so they didn't. Well, they announced the
Well, they
name,
announced the name of it. Yeah.
and that was about
That
all
seems
they
to be the
did.
new model now. Let's just get a name out there so people know, yes, we are working on this, and so just leave us alone now.
Yeah, it was literally an interview in the audience with the team lead, and that was it.
Yep.
So they didn't show anything on screen. Uh, wow, why don't I have my EA notes? I have my Microsoft ones. Oh, I see. No, weird. I don't have any of my EA notes.
Call of Duty,
No, that's not
or no,
EA.
not Call of Duty, Battlefront,
Battlefront 5.
Battlefield.
Battlefield 5, sorry. They did have a lot of information there. That's weird. I wonder why my notes are not here.
Did they announce? Is that where they announced the Battle Royale mode, or had that been previously
No,
announced?
that had been previously announced, but they did give us something new. I'm just trying to figure out where the heck all my notes are. That's frustrating. Give me 1 second.
Your dog ate them.
Apparently. File. Open. I'm looking where they would be if
I'm just gonna watch this.
E3 2018. Is this it? Yes, it is. Hey. No. Nope, this is just my schedule.
You didn't save it. You just,
I must have done something. That's so weird because I totally take notes of all this stuff because I'm super, super crazy about it. Nope,
Star.txt.
Nope. My notes are just gone. So let's do the interesting thing and just cheat. I'm good. I'm good with that. All right. So let's see now. So E3 EA 2018. E3 2013. Okay. So, they gave us the Anthem release date of February 27th or whatever it is, 22nd. Yeah, which is still like a month, 3 weeks before the Division 2. So I'm not super happy about that. EA
Same
announced,
day as Days Gone.
yeah. EA announced their Origin Premier service, which looks like it's going to be $10 a month. Gets you access to all of their 120 games in their library or whatever. It doesn't seem like they have enough for this. But the interesting thing is that you get the games that they're releasing day and date on release. So, for example, Battlefield 5, if you're part of this, you get it day and date. And I guess it's like a streaming service somehow. I don't know how it works exactly, but that's what I'm guessing. Men 19 is coming to PC. They told us about the Battlefield 5 Battle Royale. That is where they announced it. I think it had been a rumor until that point. Jedi Fallen Order announced by Respawn. They said there are lightsabers and you will be playing a Jedi, and it falls between episode 3 and 4. And I'm actually kind of intrigued because that's one of the non-fleshed out areas, if I remember correctly. Star Wars Battlefront 2 introducing Clone Wars content. I believe I said on the stream at some point. I heard you orgasm somewhere, Matt.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I mean, this last event they did with the Ewok stuff, that Ewok hunt mode was fun. You couldn't play it forever, but it was fun. And yeah, so I'm intrigued to see. The Han Solo stuff drops next week, or the Solo movie tie-in stuff drops next week, which gives us a mode on Kessel and some extra characters. And then yeah, this Clone Wars stuff. We're finally getting Obi-Wan in Battlefront game.
You know his only weakness, right?
If you're his only hope.
Ray Parks.
But yeah.
Oh no,
So
I'm thinking. No, that joke was Liam Neeson's only weakness
Liam
is
Neeson's
Braveheart.
weakness. Yeah, I was
Sorry,
trying to
sorry,
figure
sorry,
that out. Like, I don't know where you're going
sorry.
with that, but I was just going to ignore it. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I still can't. Battlefront's just like any other thing. I can't play those things endlessly. But when they do these things, pop in, play a few rounds, and there's supposed to be a new Starfighter mode. Is that with the solo stuff, or is that with this
I,
Clone Wars
I
thing?
think
I
it's
don't
with the
remember.
solo stuff actually, and
Yeah.
my thought there is that if they don't have the Kessel run that you can do in under 12 parsecs, then there's going to be revolt.
That'll be interesting to do. But since you haven't seen the movie, you can't really
I will I will be
agree. But
watching it this Friday, I think. So there you go.
okay, yeah.
If assuming it's still in theaters, that is.
Shut up.
Sorry. Okay, um, so yes, that was EA's conference, and it was a decent conference. I wrote that at the bottom of my notes wherever they are. Decent conference. Then Microsoft took the stage on the following day, and they had actually a great press conference. They started with Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Actually, I'm sorry. They started with the Halo 6 reveal, or Halo Infinite, as they are liking to call it. Not any gameplay or any real information, so we'll see what we get with that. Then the next one that took me by surprise was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It is by From Software, the folks who did the Dark Souls series, and it is a single-player ninja simulator, which I am down with.
With monsters.
With
Published by
monsters.
Activision.
Published by Activision.
Sounds cool.
Fallout 4 is like Microsoft is doing a $9.99 a month Games Pass service as well. They announced that Fallout 4 was launching that Game Pass. Fallout 76 was the first information we got about it was at the Microsoft conference. Saw a new trailer for it. They said it was 4 times bigger than the current Fallout, Fallout 4 in West Virginia. They got that John Denver song stuck in my head forever at that point. Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit was announced. We'll talk more about that one in a little bit. Crackdown 3, a game which is now, by my estimation, the wrong name for that game, because it is not a Crackdown, but I don't care. I would still play it because it's got Terry Crews and it looks fun, even though it's not Crackdown.
Yeah, it looked almost more Saints Row-ish at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Did you see the rumor? There was a rumor because Keith David did all I'll talk about that when we get to the Square Enix one. Nier Automata Become as God's Edition coming to Xbox. Metro Exodus got its first full trailer, which I have not been a fan of the other ones, but this looks better.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a big fan of it. He was rolling out of his chair for it. Kingdom Hearts 3, we got the first trailer. I don't know if you saw the reaction video yet online. There's a guy who's like almost passes out in his reaction video. It's this guy that you would not imagine to have the reactions he has, and he's just like in tears and then passes out at the end of it.
And that was the first confirmation of Frozen 2.
Correct.
As a world.
We got Tangled, and we got Gummy Ships reconfirmed,
Yep.
and Wreck-It Ralph and Hercules and Monsters Inc. and Toy Story. Sea of Thieves got some DLC, which they called an exclusive. I don't think that counts, but they did a lot of that during the Microsoft conference. Showed a little bit more Battlefield 5. They did show Forza Horizon
4.
coming out October 2. Will be in the Xbox Game Pass day and date at launch.
Minimal UI, 60 frame per seconds on the one.
You play with friends and didn't look like there were actually races. It just looked like a running around simulator.
I'm guessing I'm guessing there are races. I'm having to imagine it's got to be something like Burnout Paradise, where you'll pull up to a certain, you'll get a thing, and you'll start an event.
I agree.
But yeah, everything they showed in there was just okay. So I can get in a pretend car and drive through the Four Seasons and hang out. Okay.
The wife really wants an Xbox One for that. I'm trying to convince her to hold off because now it looks like we're going to get both new consoles in 2 years, but we'll see. We'll talk more about that also. 5
all the studios
purchased by Microsoft, including the new studio they were building in Santa Monica, Undead Labs Studios purchase, Playground Games acquisitions, Ninja Theory, which was and then Compulsion Games, which is making We Happy Few. We Happy Few was announced with a release date of August 10th. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition is another one that came out of left field. One of the few. Tom Clancy's The Division 2 got a release date of March 15th, and we got a good amount of gameplay. And then
they talked about Game Pass again for a while, and the 2 double fast loader thing, and
and they talked about the ID at Xbox games. They did a little sizzle reel for that. Then they did Shadows of the Tomb Raider, September 14th this year. Session was a console exclusive launch. Black Desert Online was a console launch exclusive.
And we still don't know if that means that they're saying that just because that's the only console they're coming to and they're going to be on PC, or if they're coming to other consoles, or
no, they've already said that Black Desert is
Black Desert's coming. Yeah, Black Desert's coming, but I'm not sure about Session.
Yeah, I don't know about Session either.
Which totally looked like Skate, by the way.
It totally did. I was super excited. I thought it was Skate 4. I really thought EA was like, wow, surprising me by not announcing Skate 4 at their own conference and doing it at the Microsoft conference. I was just like, bring on the Hall of Meat, but then it wasn't it. I was like, oh, sad. Devil May Cry 5, Kate about came out of her chair. Spring 19.
It took me a while to figure out that was Nero and not DMC Dante at first.
Yeah. Cuphead is getting some exclusive DLC with a new character. As yet unknown whether or not that means that you could play 3 people at the same time. That would be kind of crazy, but I don't think that's what it is. I think you just get them in place of one of the other cups.
Yeah.
Tunic, which wholeheartedly is Legend of Zelda as a fox in a beautiful painted style. They tried to say that it's more than Legend of Zelda with a fox, and I disagree, sir. Good day.
You don't need to be more than Legend of Zelda as a fox. Legend of Zelda as a fox is just fine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Especially with that art style. Then we had
Jump Force.
Yeah, Bandai Namco combining the worlds of Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and One Piece in
at a minimum.
Oh yeah, at a minimum.
And Death Note.
Oh, did they confirm Death Note now?
We saw at the very end.
Nice.
We saw Light and Shinigami.
Nice. Well, that's interesting. That's even more interesting.
So if there's not, you're gonna is Boku no Shonen, or is that Shonen?
I don't think Boku no Hero is a. I don't think Boku no Hero Academia is Shonen Jump.
Okay.
I would kill if they somehow got One Punch Man in this as well. I'm just saying.
That's definitely not Shonen Jump, but yeah. But neither is Death Note, is it?
I don't know.
Was the manga originally published in Shonen Jump?
Don't know.
Fact checking squad.
Yes, you do that while we talk about Dying Light 2, which was a thing that was shown and
You
looked
played
very
the first Dying Light.
I did, and I am not generally a first-person person, which Matt likes to.
Yeah,
It is
Death Note
Shonen.
was first
Here's a Shonen
serially is a Shonen Jump published manga.
I do not generally like first-person games, which Matt says, then why do you keep buying them? But
It does. It's crazy.
I do because I want to try, and Dying Light was one of those rare ones that was actually fun. I enjoyed it. It looks like they're taking the second one even darker, if that's possible. And yeah, it was not good. As Ellie just beheads somebody in the background here.
Oh, Boku no Hero is totally a Shonen Jump title. It was originally published and serialized in Shonen Jump.
But they have a Boku no Hero Academia Fighter coming out by itself. So would they?
Yeah, but with as popular as that is,
in?
if you're going to do a fusion game and not include that.
True.
Sorry, go ahead. We're done now.
Okay. Battletoads, the game that no one asked for.
So yeah, we don't even, and that's an exclusive too, right? That I wrote down on my notes, exclusive. So is it a remaster remake of the original? Is it a new game? Is it?
I got no answers for you, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just Cause 4, our first look at it, and man, that was the one that I almost came out of my chair because that looked great, and I really enjoyed 3. I'm in the rare minority there because a lot of the longtime fans of the series did not like 3. Excuse me, but I thought it was great.
Surprise, surprise! You like the thing that everyone else hated.
I guess. And then they had the guy from Gears come out, and everybody got super excited and they're like, "Nope, here's the game we're launching next year." And it was Gears Pop Mobile. And I was like, okay, so they're square trolling. They're square trolling their fan base. This is hilarious. Let's see if they've learned anything from square trolling their own fan base. And sure enough, they did, because then they announced Gears Tactics and Gears 5 coming in 2019. And both look amazing, and I actually want to play both of them. So that was the perfect homage to the square troll. But then they actually didn't do the square troll. Because if it was square, they would have just announced the Gears Pop Mobile and then dropped the mic and left the stage after saying, pleased to be excited.
Yes. And
then last but not least, the trailer for my most anticipated game in the next 2 years, Cyberpunk 2077.
Do we actually think that's going to come out on this generation consoles, or do we think this will actually be a launch title for both of the next whatever they are?
So, in the Microsoft press conference, which one was it? There was a game that they came out and talked about. Now I'm going to have to find this in another window. There was a game that they came out and the wording was very specific.
Being made for next generation consoles.
Yes.
That was in Bethesda's conference. That was Starfield.
Yes. So I'm wondering if Starfield is actually the launch title for the next PlayStation 5, Xbox 2, Xbox One X, X2X, whatever it's going to be.
Which will end up getting delayed long enough it'll actually come out mid-generation for both.
Probably, but I think that might be the one. I mean, I hope not, because I really want it to be on PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
but we'll see. And yeah, so that was the Microsoft conference. Then after that was the Bethesda conference, and
that was a lesson in how not to run a conference.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, they had some serious pacing issues, and again, a mini concert that was unnecessary, that showed us no gameplay footage during it. But what was interesting to me is that you've got the king of shooters, id Software, co-developing Rage 2 with Avalanche Studios, which is putting out their own title this year with Just Cause 4, which is the most over-the-top open-world shooter possible. And I went into the Rage 2 section going, there is no way that I will ever play this game. It is not for me. I mean, my level of enthusiasm was what was the Notebook shooting game that Jaffe just did that failed horrible.
Drawn to Death.
Yes, I was going into this with the same level of enthusiasm as I had for Drawn to Death. And by the time we came out the other side, I actually want Rage 2.
They did manage to make it look appealing. Yes, they did.
Because it looks like BioShock in the Wasteland. To a point.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely more enticing than I thought going in, especially based with what was being teased from those couple of teasers to deal with the leak. But yeah,
Elder Scrolls Legends, ESO, Doom Eternal, Quake Champions, Prey,
which was like the most desperate. Please play our game.
Yeah, pretty much. Prey Moon Crash and Typhon Hunter, Wolfenstein Youngblood.
That one I'm really curious on because I know this is part of just, as a human being resistant to change, but okay, so 2 took place in like 65, which means for somewhere for 50 to 20 years it seems like nothing in the world has changed. And so that seems kind of weird, but even if that's not it, now we're going into a co-op shooter thing. It's like, okay, is this a side game? Is this Wolfenstein 3? What is this thing? And I don't know. I'm leery of it at this point. It's not a non-starter, but I'm leery of it.
Yeah, I'm enthused about it being co-op. I am interested in seeing the interpretation of Nazi America in the 1980s, because the idea of taking propagandist posters and lighting them with neon is somewhat appealing to me.
So does this just become Wolfenstein Blood Dragon then?
Yeah, maybe I don't know, but maybe. And then they announced VR Prey and Prey Typhon Hunter mode, which I'm kind of excited about that, actually. Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, also coming to VR. They showed us a teaser for Skyrim Very Special Edition.
That was hilarious. That was where the thing turned. I think that's where the conference started getting good, was right there.
I agree. Fallout 76, they got everybody excited and then announced that it is an online...
Persistent online world.
Yep. But they did say you can play solo, Matt.
They said you can play solo, but they didn't say, I can't keep those dang dirty sons of guns out of my game.
I'm sure we'll find out. Dozens of players per server, no server list, never lose progression from death or joining a new place, and you can transport anything you want from one place to another.
But when anyone can nuke a significant chunk of the map at any time, I have a hard time believing that there's no way you can ever lose anything.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's coming out November 14th, 2018. Surprisingly, most of my friends very negative on this. But most of the people I talked to afterwards were like, nope, not interested. I'm like, really?
I think it looks great. I think I'm a little... The nuke thing seems... odd, right? Not
it's
just
like a
from
nuclear option.
Yeah, it's like, why you just got out because the radiation is supposedly low enough for you to start rebuilding America, and so
why would you go and nuke
do is launch more nukes? This doesn't make any sense. And I'm concerned about the multiplayer aspect of it. Even if I don't lose progression or whatever, if I'm getting headshotted by some griefer who's running around in my map for hours, it's going to decrease my enjoyment of the game.
We will check back and see whether or not the name of this game is actually Griefing 76.
Yes.
Fallout
Hopefully
Shelter released for the PS4 and the Switch that evening.
Downloaded, haven't played it yet.
They announced Elder Scrolls Blades that you could play anywhere, including virtual reality, and it's cross save, meaning that you can pick it up and play it from wherever you left off on whatever device you're playing it on. It looks pretty, and you know, one of the things that I said I would love to see out of Sony was a new Kingsfield, and that's pretty much what this is, except on mobile. So I'm interested in it. And then they announced Starfield coming God knows when, and Elder Scrolls 6 coming no one knows after that.
God knows when +1.
That's right. Probably +4 would be my guess. That was the Bethesda conference. Then we got the old Squeenix. It was super short. Like, way shorter than I thought it was going to be at all. It was 30 minutes of trailers, and pretty much that's it. We got Dragon Quest XI, which Echoes of an Elusive Age, which
Looks
I will
awesome.
I will get 100%. They announced Babylon's Fall coming from Platinum Games in 2019.
Very intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sold me on a game that I didn't even know I wanted before this conference, which is Octopath Traveler. That game looks amazing. And PSA, there is a demo you can download tomorrow.
Should probably get on that.
So June 14th, you can download the Octopath Traveler demo for the Switch. Just Cause 4 was shown in detail, and it's even crazier than I could have thought. Anytime I can take a squirrel suit into a tornado and lash two things together in a tornado, I approve of this message.
So I kind of got lost in that part. I think I had to stop watching or what it was, but is that like wasn't there a James Bond movie about this where somebody could control the weather and make a tornado wherever they wanted, or was that Kingsman or something? I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, pretty much. But
is that the setup though? Here is
no
bad guys make bad weather, and
no,
you got to
surprisingly,
stop.
it's not. One of our news stories is funny because we're at that point in the conference. One of the news stories is someone built a shrine to Cade in the middle of the E3 floor. And like there's pictures of it, and people keep adding to it. Now people have brought spicy ramen packets because Cade loves spicy ramen. And I sent it to Nathan Fillion, and I said, look, no matter what good journey you're on, people care when you go. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it was kind of amusing. Let me find that Just Cause. Square Enix Just Cause 4. Let's see if that'll do it.
Although there was at one point where they were showing some of the Just Cause 4 stuff, and I wasn't sure if they were like showing off the software that they were running it on. I can't remember what the actual term for it is.
Yeah, it's like the Unity engine or something like that.
Yeah, what engine they were using.
The Apex engine, I think, is the name of it.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, they're touting that because they will license it to other developers, but it's also what they use to make this. And let me tell you, flying that stupid squirrel suit and using the grappling hook are two of the most satisfying gameplay experience things that I have done in a long time. It's just plain fun. Like I'll latch onto a car and immediately open my parachute and defy the laws of physics and go up. And I use that all the time, and it's fantastic. And when we first I muted. Okay. When we when they first started showing this trailer, it seemed like they were trying to take a much more realistic, gritty feel to it. And I'm like, oh, Rico goes hard. And then I realized that would actually be a good Just Cause 4 subtitle. But that's not. I don't think it's like that at all. But they did say, they mention it multiple times, that the AI is much smarter and much harder now to deal with, and they have
Yeah,
different archetypes.
I think the story is dark and goes hard, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then I think when you're just screwing around in the world, then it's all goofy, crazy stuff.
Yeah,
So I mean,
and
you're up against like a militia or something, like a militant
yeah, a
force.
PMC, private military contract force. Um, but it's that you can see you're going to interact with this. My hope and full expectation is that by the end of the game you get whatever controls the weather. I mean, I don't think it's going to be one of those things where you're fighting bad guys that control the weather, but I bet by the end of it somehow they'll work in that you have made a device to control the weather so that you can spawn those tornadoes whenever you want. But this game looks just ridiculously fun, and the fact that you can now like link together 4 or 5 things is crazy, because it was crazy enough when you could do 2, and now that you can do 4 and you can attach rockets and balloons to anything. Look, they just recreated Zelda right there. So I'm down with this. This is one of the ones for me that was a standout. I was very surprised by how well it looked. And then I'll go back to the other one. The Quiet Man was a very WTF moment. Probably the most WTF moment out of the entire E3 set of press conferences this year. Did you see the Quiet Man trailer, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Live action to gameplay back to live action. Yeah.
Yes.
That was
It's like what?
weird.
What? 2018? What? Let's see. I think we were a little farther than that. Somewhere in there, probably. Maybe even a little farther than that. Boom. There we go. Let's see. Oh. God. We'll get to that.
Don't get distracted by what you're watching.
Yeah, I know. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 Ratatouille confirmed. I don't know if it's a mini game or an entire world.
I'm pretty sure it's a cooking mini game, kind of maybe like all Legend of Zelda. You'll be making potions or whatever. I'm guarantee you, whatever the hub world is, that's a shop in the hub world where you're doing a cooking mini game.
I tend to think you are correct.
Yeah.
From there,
Or it's gonna be like Ariel's world in the previous games, or in the second game, but
why? Oh, then the Ubisoft conference was after that. I called the obligatory Just Dance number at the top of the show. Vaguely attractive panda dancing. Then they had Rainbow Six Siege. They talked about that for a while. Introduced Trials Rising coming February 2019, all platforms, and they actually have apparently been getting the Trials highest community members to participate for the last 2 years in game testing, so that's interesting. Then they did a nice long Division 2 thing, which is exactly what I wanted, and it was fantastic. I'm there.
Although it was again the cringeworthy scripted player chat dialogue again.
It wasn't as bad. It
was pretty bad. It was still pretty bad.
They showed Mario Rabbids Donkey Kong DLC. They showed a big thing on Skull and Bones, which Jimmy was very excited for. Transference. And then Starlink Battle for Atlas, which is coming out October 16th. And today, to cannibalize my own news, we found out today that you do not have to buy the Toys to Life figures in order to play the game. You can buy the digital versions at a discounted price, and still play the game that way. So if you don't have the room for the toys or want to buy physical toys and put them together, then you don't have to do that. So that's kind of interesting to me. They're saying that it's Ubisoft's interpretation of No Man's Sky, except that it's all handmade instead of procedurally generated, and it's fun. Nothing, Matt?
Nah, I'm gonna let it go.
All right. Oh, so you were paying attention during the Frozen section. Got it. Let's see. For Honor announced that it's releasing a free starter edition for PC that you can download the game and starter edition for free. I tried to do it and their stuff was down. It crashed because of the demand on the server. I have not tried since then. You have until the end of this week to do so. They announced a new division faction, which are the Chinese warriors. The Crew 2 is having an open beta starting June 21st, as I mentioned before. They showed a quick trailer for that, and then they showed Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is coming out October 5th, and it looked great. I didn't play the last one, so I might actually give this one a shot.
We did learn that Ubisoft doesn't know what Origins mean, though, because this one takes place 400 years before Origins.
Well, Origins could have been the origin of the organization, but this just could be
the
like
origin of the order, yes, but still. It's funny that they have one called Origin, which is like the beginning, and then they go and put one 400 years earlier.
Everybody knows the order didn't happen until 1886. $5.
That game still gets a bad rap. Yeah, it's pretty cheap right now. It's totally worth it.
You know, I don't think, I'm sorry, I can't not look at the screen. I don't think anything's made me as happy as this. With the leaves blowing and the sun setting and
their feet are kicking the leaves around too, so it's not like they're just an image on the.
I watched this with Lexi again later, and there's things I didn't notice. Like, for example, and we'll wait just a minute here. When the Mongolians start approaching, they're actually shooting flame arrows.
Fire arrows. Yeah, and the leaves.
And the leaves catch on fire, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, there's one there. They come, and now the leaves will catch on fire. Yeah, this evokes so much Bushido Blade mixed with The Witcher.
I'm so happy. This makes me so happy. I can't even begin to describe how happy it makes me.
Just the fact that this is coming out of Sucker Punch is the thing that's just like, holy. I never would have guessed that this was coming out of Sucker Punch and that Spider-Man was coming out of Insomniac, and them both look amazing.
Agreed. I mean, I still think they're both working together. So I don't know how they've gotten so good at this. I mean, if you would have ever told me the makers of Infamous would make a Bushido game that I would be super interested in, I would have told you to like take a long walk off a short pier, because that just doesn't seem right to me at all. But I'm happy about it. I'm so very happy about it. It looks amazing.
And do you want to drop your thing that makes you squee even more as long as we're talking about it and we're completely out of order anyway, or do you want to wait till we get to Sony's conference?
What's the thing that
the language track?
Oh yes, they announced that you will have the ability to play the game in full Japanese voice mode today. So
nice.
I am always the fan of playing it in the original Japanese language as opposed to English dub.
It's not original because Sucker Punch is out of Washington.
Shut up, Matt. Stop taking my thunder here.
Oh, shoot. All right, carry on. We were talking about Ubisoft. That's what they closed the show with.
That's what they closed the show with, so we're up to Sony. And you've been seeing that going on in the background here. They talked about The Last of Us 2. They showed an amazingly brutal yet passionate gameplay trailer. That I think Jimmy really summed that up. I had so much apprehension watching the battle scenes with Ellie that it was palpable.
The tension was there. You definitely could imagine what Ellie was feeling in those moments, or just the sheer tension of what was going on there.
And again, if you would have told me when I was playing through Crash Bandicoot 2 that company was going to make something like The Last of Us, I would have told you were certifiably insane. But here we are.
And there were some amazing details in that too. I went back and watched it a couple more times after on the big screen, and downside, yeah, ferns still clip through your hair and backpack. Plus side, the number of arrows you actually have are the number of arrows in your backpack.
Yeah.
When the person died, they dropped like 5 arrows, and she picked all 5 up and put them in her backpack. So it's some insane details in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did The Last of Us 2. They announced Call of Duty Blops was going to be free on PSN, which
3,
is
just to be clear, Blops 3.
Yeah, Blops 3. But that's weird, right? Why are they promoting an Activision shooter when their partnership is with EA? I still haven't figured this one out. And
Well, they've had a partnership with Activision though too to get
in the past, a long time ago.
Well, did they announce that they were getting any of those maps first? I don't remember.
No, not at all.
But I didn't really understand what the point of them getting Blops 3 free on Plus was, since it was Black Ops maps from 1 and 2 that you were going to get for 4. So I didn't really.
Yeah, I'm super confused also. Yeah. I'm right there with you.
But hey, I got the game for free, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I played the zombie modes, which is weird. And then I lost my place. Destiny 2, they killed Cade. Ghost of Tsushima, as we just saw. Control is a new game by Remedy that looks very intriguing. Not much known about it.
That was more WTF for me than the other one that you said was the WTF moment, but
yeah, and Game Informer I think had a more in-depth article on that one, and so the stuff makes more sense when you get into the more in-depth on what they found out about it and things. We don't need to go into it right now, but I think it was Game Informer. I'm pretty sure it was Game Informer.
And then Kate did come out of her chair for the Resident Evil 2 remake, which this is all running in the Resident Evil 7 engine.
Evil 7 engine.
We found out today that is a smart thing for Capcom to do. Let's make an engine that we can remaster all of our games and resell them to people.
And not to mention, it's a completely different perspective scheme. Yep. It's so that engine is showing off its flexibility.
Yes, it is. Then we had an announcement of Trover Saves the Universe, which was a nice little. I think a lot of people were going WTF, but I think that was actually the perfect.
Can I say? We just saw we're in the background there. One thing I was going to say, when we saw the girl in red, I thought, oh man, they're bringing Rebecca into this. That's Claire.
Yeah, it's Claire.
They totally changed the face.
There are some people who have been commenting on the faces and whatnot and saying it's not right, but
Leon was still obviously Leon. There was no doubt there. Mm-hmm. But they totally made Claire look like Rebecca.
I think up until this point, they've been showing a lot of death and mayhem and destruction and blood and Trover Saves the Universe was stupid and funny, and I think that was a good way to serve as a palate cleanser. And then from there, we got the newest and final Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, which, I mean, talk about milking something. 3 versions of a trailer at one event.
Well, it's how they do things.
And the biggest announcement, we got confirmed Pirates of the Caribbean World.
Mm-hmm. With a Jack Sparrow and human characters that look like, I thought that was FMV for a minute.
Yeah, it looked really good. Full motion video.
Real people.
You have 1990s video game making is what it is.
Yes.
It is a industry term that specifically refers to the use of video full screen in the 1990s in video games.
Yeah, so they filmed human people and put it into the game.
Yeah. And then the biggest announcement out of that was it was A, coming January 29th, and B, that there would be a PS4 bundle that had the 2.4 and 2.8 remix, as well as... No, it does...
1.5, 2.5...
Oh, it does have 1.5.
And 3. All the entire everything that's available for modern consoles in one bundle.
Okay, I have a question.
The Pro.
I have a question.
Here it is.
Yeah. I have a question, Mitchell.
Hmm.
If I don't buy 1.5, I don't get 1. I thought 2.5 had the international release of 1 in it.
No, it has 2.
So it's just the international release of 2. So they're not just going to do a gosh darned 2.9, here's everything from beginning to end in one package deal. It's all here. They could do it. They're just being mean.
Well, they're putting it all into one package with a themed PS4 Pro. So you're getting it all in one package.
No, you're not. You're still getting all those separate things in one package. But what I'm saying is, why wouldn't they put together a Kingdom Hearts complete package that has 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and 3 in one?
Wouldn't all fit on one disc?
They can use as many discs as they want.
I don't know. Maybe they can't. We haven't seen a multi-disc PS4 game, so maybe they actually can't do a multi-disc game.
Well, I would just imagine it would be exactly as it is now. You'd have 1.5 on one disc, 2.5 on another.
Well, then what's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? Then?
The difference is I don't have to buy 3 separate things.
Well, if you buy this, you don't have to. You get it all in one box.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm. This actually kind of makes me want a Pro.
Oh, I know that if I can make the money, I am. Oh, this is getting done. This
whole conference makes me want to get a Pro. You know, I mean, everything about this conference made me want to get a Pro.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because we have staunchly said multiple times on this podcast, there's no reason to own a Pro. And now look at what we're doing. We're all going, I really need a Pro. Really need a Pro.
So this conference did its job then.
Yes, exactly.
I just want the Kingdom Hearts 3 Pro. That's the only reason. And I need my own console.
It's probably the one, in all honesty, that doesn't need the Pro. But, yeah. I mean, you look at Ghost of Tsushima, and I sit there and I go, okay, that's normal. What is that going to look in 4K with HDR? And then my soul dies a little inside because I know I'm not going to be able to afford that.
Well, I think the HDR in Kingdom Hearts is going to be huge too. Like when you do the summons that are the park rides and stuff, I think that's going to be huge.
I think that will be one of the reasons you'd want to have HDR. Yeah, for sure. Then after that,
Mitchell losing his mind.
I'm telling you, you know what? We're gonna find this. I actually want to watch your reactions to this because I figured this would have been Mitchell if he wasn't so laid back. I'm actually gonna find this right now. Kingdom Hearts 3 reaction. I'll find it. Yeah, this guy.
I actually
No.
Here, we'll turn this up just a little bit.
What? What? The trailer here? Here? Oh. Oh. I wasn't ready for... Frozen? This is Frozen.
I do not like Sora's new voice. That is the dumb thing.
Yeah!
Did you not watch the Square Enix one?
No.
Like, wait, I just
Or this might be the.
What?
I think this might be the Square Enix one. I'm not sure.
Why is it here?
This is the actually this is the one they showed at Xbox.
Yeah, this is the Xbox one. Yeah, look at the corner. Yeah.
Why is it fuck so Sora? Oh my god! Simba? Is that Simba? Why is Simba on fire? Oh, we're going on Monster Inc. Ripped him up. Okay, we've seen this shit. Wait, you son of a bitch. Tangled. Okay, we knew Tangled, but this shit looks so hot. Oh my fucking, what am I doing with my hands, guys? What? Oh, the gummy shit. Oh, they got the shit how it was in Kingdom Hearts 2. My butt is clenched, nigga. Oh, the music is the full music shit? This the full shit? Is this the full song? No.
You can control ice. Control it.
Which I'm gonna stop it and turn it down for a second, but you get the idea.
No, you don't,
This is
Elsa.
my home now. I can't.
Oh, the Sora's interacting with both of them.
Hark!
Oh god! Oh god, I'm about to cry! I'm about to cry! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I don't want to get bonked for this, so I'm muting it.
Show me the beat drop, bro! Show me the beat drop, bro!
Okay, it's just Tangled, dude. It's okay. The funny thing, this is what Mitchell's brain is doing, literally. This is Mitchell's
I know.
brain.
I thought of Mitchell when I saw this.
That's the other him! The other Riku! The other Riku! Who's Niggas? Who's Niggas that? Who's
You're
that?
wrong.
Aqua? Who are you? Aqua! Aqua! Why you look like that?
You're too late.
No!
This is exactly what I thought of.
Yeah, don't let Mitchell's demeanor fool you. That is totally his brain right there going.
See if he's... No, go back!
Anyways, yes, that's. I watched that today, and I was just thinking the whole time. It was hilarious.
Is it not? That's basically what your brain is actually doing, right?
Just to an extent, yeah.
Just the Aqua, no. That's was yeah. That was totally. Okay, so yes. Then we got to. Actually, I should try and find it if I can. It might be this actually. Nope, that's Kingdom Hearts. Oh, here we go.
Then we get to
Pop.
Walking Simulator 2019.
Yeah, that's actually what I took out of it. It's a UPS Simulator 2019
With demons.
with demons.
Most likely, this is just Kojima trolling us to completely misdirect on everything. But
I mean,
I wouldn't put it past him, but
to be honest, after watching this a couple of times, I don't think this looks that impressive compared to what we saw in Ghost and Last of Us. I mean, like this scene here looks impressive, but when he's out walking in the world, that doesn't look like finished product. I'm guessing that's probably still rough cut.
and I'm also guessing that whatever it is, it's like from the very first thing you have to do in the game, because there's no way they're going to show us anything from farther in the game. I disagree. I think this looks absolutely like the detail in the environment is amazing. But detail a game does not make.
Yeah.
I don't
If
know.
it's literally walking the game, I think I can't imagine that's what this is. But
I can't imagine
especially
it is
for Mind
either.
of Hideo.
And
yeah, that does not look safe.
or fun.
No. Yeah, no. That looks like pain, suffering, and
And that
death.
and right there, that's when I decided that this is actually a post-apocalyptic Oregon Trail.
Yes, yes. And
No, no, no,
I,
no.
yay! I found gold. That's what he said, I think. Yeah, but there's guns, right? So he just clearly had a gun in his hand. So
Yeah.
who knows
Mhm.
what the babies have to do with it? We still don't know. We got to see well rendered baby butt in this one. Yeah, Kojima's. I think that this is actually a weirdly correct way to market this game. Like, we have no idea what it is. We have way more questions than we have answers. And every time they show us something, we just end up with that many more questions. And I think that's actually a kind of interesting way to market something. And
Honestly, we'll probably have more questions once the game is over and after we've played it still.
probably. I don't disagree with that. And then how good can this guy be if she just snuck up on him like that?
Well, she's clearly a whole other level higher than he is.
Oh yeah,
in
no,
whatever this is.
I agree with that. Whatever the name of the profession is that you are a paranormal delivering boxes.
And covering your mouth is an important skill to have. But yeah, this game, and we still don't really know anything. This could all be misdirection. None of this could be in the actual game. We have no idea, right? I mean,
I don't think so. I think at this point they have established enough of the world and enough consistencies with the last trailer and this trailer. He's got the thing that chirps and shows the outlines of them to him, and that's attached to the baby. So
right. I
I mean,
think the elements are there, but none of these scenes we've seen could actually end up in the game, right? I mean, that's what
possibly.
I'm saying.
Yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible. But yeah, Death Stranding. Hooray.
And then the big surprise at the end, how the heck did they get Lindsay Wagner to do a video game?
Yeah, I joked at the time, I think, that this game just went bionic or something like that.
Of course, then you got everyone was listening to that day's reaction podcast for Game Informer rather.
Yeah.
And they're all like, that was like the Bionic Woman or something, wasn't she? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
geez, you guys are young.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, yay, we're old. So yeah, then the next surprise announcement, Neo 2, which I did not play Neo.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I'm glad it sold well enough to do Neo 2 for them. And then Matt's favorite game at the conference does whatever a spider pig can.
Yeah, this game, it just, the world does not deserve Insomniac. I just...
You know,
it looks amazing.
Like this was okay for me, right? I thought it was good. Don't get me wrong; it looks beautiful, but I would not buy this game necessarily just for the story. What I wanted to know about was, what's it feel like to swing through New York? Is it as good as Spider-Man 2 from back in the day? And by all accounts of everyone who's gotten hands on, it's better. Than Spider-Man 2 from back in the day, which means this game is sold for me. Because that's all I did in that game. I very rarely actually stopped any criminals or did anything meaningful. I just webbed around the world. And I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan in the world, but I think this looks amazing. The fact that you've got a Death Blossom web shooter.
Yeah, that's an awesome tie-in there, little reference.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. I'm totally down with this in every way, shape, and form. The action looks fluid and fun, and there's the Death Blossom, and everybody's, I do have to say, he throws people off the top of buildings.
Yeah, but he does attach a web line to him.
Does
It was
he?
subtle. It was subtle. I had to go back and check because I remember them saying before, yeah, he's not going to let people just fly off the edge of a building or something. It's very, very, very subtle, but he does attach a web line to the guys that fly off of a
Okay,
building.
that makes me feel a little better because Spider-Man is definitely not Batman.
Yeah, no. And the amount
But
that Yuri is in this, I'm wondering if she's going to have her counterpart or if she's just going to be a cop in this one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. I'm interested because I've never I never read the arc with Negative Man.
Mr.
So,
Negative.
Mr. Negative, yeah, I do that all the time. I never read any of his stuff, so I'm interested to learn more about that character.
Yeah.
Now, do you think we'll see other Spider-Man in this?
Um, I'm guessing we won't, but my feeling is we'll have a stinger at the end of the game that will have something like that to set up for another one. Either that or it's going to set up a tie-in with the Square developed Avengers.
Avengers? Oh, that would be so amazing, but
I think that's less likely though.
I think you're probably right. And then that was it. That was the end of the Sony conference. It finished strong. Everybody kind of universally said that they won the conference war. In terms of, among our panel, it got the highest numbers, but then again, against all the other press outlets, it got the highest ratings as well for having polished games. But everyone commented on the fact that Microsoft came out swinging this year with showing 50 titles in their press conference. True, they only really had 4 or 5 exclusives out of the 15 that they touted, but still, that's
And,
it was all games, and they were all good games.
yeah, they did a good job this year. The thing that I think was really the message from Microsoft this year was watch out for us in 2 years.
Yeah, I know. I wholeheartedly agree with that, and I know, Matt, you're going to shake your head at me, but I think this whole cross-play thing with Fortnite is not going to be good PR for them while they're at E3. Because
No, yeah, they've got to come up with something for that in the pretty short term. It
I
seems
mean,
like.
even just come out and say, "Hey guys, we hear you, but we're working on it, but our tech specs, we built this thing a long time ago. It's not geared for that." That would be an honest answer, right? It's going to take us some time to enable that thing. Sure, whatever.
Right.
But say something, right? Even if it's we have no plans for cross play. Sorry. Even that's telling consumers something, whether they like it or not. They get console exclusivity for Fortnite. But
Yeah, the silence in this case is not the right path to go down. And I don't know if that's just because they have no idea how to respond at this point, or if they are just being very Japanese about it, or what it is.
and one of the things that people took away from this scene that I was very surprised about is non-comic book readers and non-movie watchers said, "Oh, I don't want to play this game because if I have to fight all those guys at once at the top of this thing, that looks just like it's not going to be any fun."
What?
Yeah.
but this is entirely cutscene animation or maybe QuickTime at worst.
I understand that. But people looked at it and said, if I have to fight all those superpowered guys at one time, that doesn't seem like fun to me.
Yeah, and as a Spider-Man fan, going up against any iteration of the Sinister Six, that's just like,
Oh, look, he just got
come
Mario.
on. Yeah, I mean, it's not a Peter Parker story if he isn't getting the crap beat out of him by the bad guy at some point. I mean,
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I just like that he got Mario.
I thought it was interesting that some people thought that this person here was a good guy coming to help him. Like,
Who?
no, that is clearly not the vibe they're going for there. But okay,
Yeah,
sure.
no.
That's the guy who funded their suits, probably.
And
But it's
then-
someone that he didn't expect to show up or is not expected to be side with them. So, yeah.
Last but not least, which I don't know if I actually have the notes for this one either, was the big old Nintendo.
Yeah, otherwise known as the Super Smash Brothers Conference.
Yeah, pretty much. Wow, really? WordPad.
Trying to think of, was there anything else in there really that was new?
Pokemon Let's Go, which wasn't really new, but Fire Emblem Three Houses,
Fire Emblem Three Houses.
which looks beautiful.
Which
Fire Emblem game, and it looks amazing.
looks far more up my alley because it looks like you get a god view of the battlefield and then you issue your commands and you zoom in and watch it happen. I'm
Yeah,
down
it
with
looks-
that.
That's what Fire Emblem. Okay,
Well, no, but I mean, your Fire Emblem is typically much more SRPG, where this looked almost
True.
more like an RTS,
Yeah.
where you're controlling units as opposed to individuals.
Yeah.
I think that's just. I almost think that's almost just slightly cosmetic. Maybe have a slight effect, but I think it's primarily mostly cosmetic.
I don't think so from what they were saying on the show floor today. I was reading about it earlier and they said it's very different from the previous one. So I'm hoping that it's actually more like what we saw. I'll take it either way. They both look beautiful, but
Yeah.
I'm seriously getting
We'll
that
find out
Octopath. Yeah, we'll find out more.
Oh
Actually,
yeah, the Octopath. Yeah.
yeah, let me actually stop this. Oh, actually, I won't stop it because they're gonna do that Spider-Man playthrough stuff. Here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
The graduation tassel earrings.
Oh, and
Oh
then
no,
of
they
course,
did that teaser,
Daroscene was announced by From Software as well, which is
which looks
PS
beautiful as well.
Yeah, it does. No idea what it is. Apparently, there's fairies involved, and that's all we know. And it's VR and coming from Software. Oh, also confirmed at the show today, Matt, just for you, Beat Saber coming to PSVR.
Yeah, that was actually their day 5 announcement of the lead up. So
Okay, good. I did not know that. There we go. Yay.
that was day 5. Yeah, so that was. Oh, I want that shirt. It's not on Insomniac
What
store.
is it?
The Spider-Man shirt, the red one.
Is it a Spider-Man shirt?
Yeah, it is. It's totally him. He's doing the.
Doing
But
web
it's
kick.
blue.
He's
But it's blue.
web flipping. Yeah, the legs are blue. There, see.
Oh, I see. No, I couldn't see his head or the spider
Yeah,
sense.
it blends in with the shirt.
Yeah. So I was sitting there staring at it the whole time, and I couldn't figure out what the heck it was. So, yeah, okay, I see it now. Let's see. Yeah, and then they actually sold me on Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Let's put everything in there. Do you think we'll get more characters? I think we'll get more characters than what they've announced even now. Oh. Did I just do that?
Hey,
Hey, I love it when I press the wrong buttons. Hooray.
We're here at Nintendo at
I gotta say that the fact that they managed to put every character that's ever been in it. I mean, they said something during the conference that was rather startling and made me stop and think. This is the largest video game crossover of all time, and it's absolutely true. You've got Hudson for Bomberman. You've got Pac-Man with Namco Bandai. You've got Snake with Konami. You've got Cloud with Square. You've got
Ryu
and
from
Mega Man for Capcom.
Well, and Captain Falcon.
Yep.
And you just have all these different companies involved in this. They had to relicense all that stuff. That's crazy crackers.
Yeah, and I guess this is actually a port. So this is actually the Wii U version of Smash, heavily modified.
Yeah.
I read that it wasn't a port. Now I have to find this fact checking, because the assumption was going to be that it was going to be a port, but I thought I had read that it was not. Is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate a port? It's the first.
Well, I guess
question.
it depends on your definition of port.
Well, if it's using the same engine as one of the previous ones and the same basic code.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting Mew in the Pokeball controller was probably brilliant because they'll now sell way more of those than they would have otherwise.
My wife is like, you will buy one. I'm like, but you haven't played any of the... And she's like, I want one. I'm like, all right.
It's a $50 peripheral that most people will never use except to get Mew out of it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I had it, I'd use it, but I'm not going to go out and buy it.
Answer is unclear. VentureBeat says it's way more than a Smash 4 port.
Which doesn't say it isn't a port.
Right, I know. Find port. Okay, not J-port, but port. Find again. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't say. Doesn't say.
There's two.
What just happened?
You joined your own room.
That's not weird at all.
Multiple dimensions confirmed.
Yeah, apparently.
Multiverse confirmed, yeah.
Yeah. Do we think there'll be more character? Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, okay. The one of me is stuttering, so I wasn't sure which one was real. Do we think there'll be more characters beyond the addition at the end? I kind of think there has to be.
They said don't expect many, but that then means that there probably are going to be some in addition to Ridley. I would guess probably 2, 3, or 4 probably would be my guess.
Yeah, there was something that said there were going to be 3 new characters. I saw somewhere, but I don't know if that was a guess or anything more. But Mitchell made a good point that Ridley kind of fills the hole being left by Charizard, since Charizard is now back being part of Pokemon Trainer.
Mm-hmm. Like I realized a lot of some of his attack simulations were very similar to Charizard's, except for he has some mechanics that work differently. Like his up B is omnidirectional. His B is a charge of Fireball rather than just the normal Fire Breath. But his down smash attack is actually identical to Charizard's with the wing flap. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays, because I know this is a game that I'm going to want to get, because it's something that my brother and I have been playing since, Melee.
Okay, so according to an interview with Game Informer, it is the same engine, but they're considering it a new game because they've changed so much
Yeah, I mean
in the
they.
implementation.
Yeah, I would think they'd have to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I
Uh,
wouldn't call it a port because it's not the same game.
do we want to throw hats in the rings for what characters they might actually announce?
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, I'm thinking Amaterasu would be a good choice.
Maybe. I know that's one that fans have asked for before too, alongside Ridley. They've mentioned um, that they've wanted.
I'd still like to see Sub-Zero in there, even if he doesn't have fatalities.
I'd like to see actually just straight up Zero or Proto Man because there's not like a Mega Man skin for Proto Man, so it'd be interesting to see if they make Proto Man or Zero as one of the quote
Echoes.
unquote Echo Fighters who plays like similarly but isn't identical. Um, I think it'd be interesting to see if they add more from some of their newer titles or more recently popularized titles. Um,
Get more characters from Fire Emblem in there.
I don't know if they could afford to do that because actually one of the largest factions in Smash Bros. Right now is Fire Emblem, rivaling Pokemon and Legend of Zelda and the Mario, obviously. But um,
Poor Waluigi. That's all I gotta say. He's not in this game either.
well, he's an assist trophy. Um, but yeah, he's not a standalone character. But I will imagine that when Three Houses comes out, like what they did with Corn, they might make a Three Houses DLC character. Either
I
that female with the axe or the person that they were calling teacher, which we've seen his name. The guy with the bluish green hair and the black robes, kind of. But I don't know if they'd go with that.
Yeah, my curiosity is, would they go for, if they're going to add more, would they go for characters from other franchises, or would they, like Ridley is already Metroid, which has two characters, well, one character in two forms,
Well, yeah, you've
um,
got
Samus
Samus,
and
Zero
Zero Suit.
Suit, and now Ridley.
Or would they go with, would they go with another Final Fantasy character? Would they Final Fantasy 15s and everything else? So would Noctis or one of the other main four show up in here? Or
I could see Noctis or Gladiolus. It'd be harder for me to see Prompto or Ignis in here.
I don't know. Prompto might be.
But he's primarily ranged, which makes him difficult. Which would make him difficult to augment in.
well, they did make the melee more for his personal episode. So
True, true.
Well,
or
let's go. Oh,
I think the one that I would love to see in there, and he could maybe actually get me to play a Smash game, if they put in Faye or Saitan from Xenogears.
If they could, well,
sure,
do they
but
have a
they're
person
never-
for a license or?
Well, if that's going to be the case, get Chrono in there, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
if we're taking left field, actually, you guys listed some pretty good ones. I'm out of options.
All right, so
I'd probably say then from the Fire Emblem reboot for Valentia.
all right.
Is Dante in this? Has he ever been in this Smash?
No,
I don't
he
think
hasn't.
so. No, he's been in Capcom versus Street or whatever. Capcom
All right.
versus Marvel, but yeah.
Here we go. Prognostications. This is from Matt. Sony said it has some big announcement that will surprise people, maybe even a hardware announcement, even though they said there wouldn't be possibly a new handheld streaming only or something like that. I'm giving you 0 points because they really didn't have any huge announcements.
No, I can't argue that.
All 4 Sony showpieces will have release dates or windows.
Oh,
Nope.
dear Lord. Jeez, yeah. I can't.
Microsoft will announce 3 to 4 first-party titles. I will give you that one. That is
Woohoo!
correct. So you're at 1. Nintendo will still do everything wrong, but still make it work. I don't think they did a whole lot wrong with this, actually. To be fair.
No,
There
it was
wasn't
just really
anything
safe.
Yeah, it was really safe. A new Wild Heart games will be announced. Oh, 0 points. Sony will announce that the removal of the PS3 and Vita games from Plus subscriptions, 0 points. Final Fantasy VII will have some playable component on the show floor, 0 points. Everyone will hate whatever Fallout 76 is, 0 points.
Oh, come on. Almost everyone hates it.
No, you even said it looks really good. There will be an Elder Scrolls announcement. I'll give you that
Woo!
one. And
There were actually multiple.
Cyberpunk is a lot closer than we think.
0
0 points. So you got 2.
Oh, 2.5. Give me a half point on that.
But it's still not even got a date. So how can I say it's a lot closer?
Hey, it had a trailer, so that's closer than a lot of people thought.
Oh, fine, 2.5 points, whatever. That's fine. All right, crazy. All right, let's see. Mitchell, you sent me yours. No, you didn't, did you?
No.
Sad panda. Dave Bach, the tired god. Switch will win the show. Not quite. So 0 points. People will get sad watching Microsoft's presentation. No, that didn't happen at all. Sony will send the Vita off properly with Tetris Effect. 0 points. Someone will show off a deep story-driven single-player campaign game, and people will stare at it in confusion.
I'll give him a half point. He was half right on that.
No, I'll give him a point for that for Death Stranding.
Oh, Dress Stranding. Okay, true enough.
With the console cycle nearing the transition phase, indie games will be a larger than expected focus. No, in fact, indie games were like one of the smallest presences they've had in years.
Yep.
Nintendo, full appreciation of the success of the Switch, announces the Mother Collection for the U.S. market. No. Game Boy Retro console shown at E3. No.
Nope.
New WarioWare game announced for the Switch. No. New Wario Land game shown off for the Switch. No. Nintendo will show off new colors of Joy-Cons to milk their customers. No. 1 point for Dave Bach.
I thought they did show new Joy-Con colors.
They showed that, like, there were, in the very beginning of it, there were other colors of Joy-Cons, but they said nothing about it. We don't know if that was... There's nothing confirmed for it.
True.
So somebody was having fun with Photoshop, I guess. Let's see, predictions for tonight. Where's Kate's? I know I've got Kate somewhere. Oh no, did she never... I think she might have just read hers on the podcast. I'm not sure if she actually sent them to me. Hold on.
No Mortal Kombat, so that we know there's none of that. I think she did call the Resident Evil 2 trailer at Sony.
She did. All right, here's Jimmy's in the meantime. EA, no, that one's 0 points. Ubisoft will massively downgrade something, 0 points. FromSoft will announce something other than Bloodborne 2 for its Shadows Die Twice trailer. He gets a point for that. Rockstar Take-Two will prove that... Nope, they didn't even show up. Nintendo will announce the release dates for Metroid Prime 4 and Smash Brothers. Half a point for Smash Brothers.
Did they give a release date for that?
Yeah, October 21st, I think. Yeah, it's like soon. I'm like, holy crap. I didn't realize it was coming up that quick. We will all continue to be entirely confused by Death Stranding, 1 point. Something will have zombies / battle royale shoehorned into it. I
don't think anything was really shoehorned.
No, I don't think it was. There will be a scandal. No. Actually, he gets a point.
EA or the Fortnite.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Or Walmart.
Fortnite. No. He made this after No and no. So he gets 3 points. He's in the lead. 3 full points. I really thought Kate had sent me her predictions, but maybe she didn't. I'm just scrolling through my chain here. Kate. I'll have to get a written version of them or go back and watch the podcast before. Let me do mine because those are here somewhere. Mark. E3 predictions. All right. Borderlands 3 will be announced. Nope. PSVR will get no major love at Sony's event. What did they say was going to be on PSVR?
Well, okay.
No,
Tetris
they
Effects
didn't.
was technically before the Rick and Morty dude thing.
That was not VR, was it?
Yeah, that's PS4 and PSVR. Yeah.
Dreams and that credit in that thing that they and just the
Yeah,
other
but
thing
that
at
was
the very
after the press conference. And the Dreams
Ooh.
thing, they never even said Dreams throughout the entire thing. I don't know. I'm gonna take a half a point. You can
Okay.
overthrow me.
Can I get half a point for Kingdom Hearts, even though because I talked to my dad before. But,
Sure.
yay!
Cyberpunk 2077 will get a big demo / gameplay. That is correct. It did happen.
Well, Backroom, does that really count?
Yeah, no, I was just saying they were going to have some kind of demo there. Not that it was going to be on the main screen. Plus, we got the trailer. So I got that one. 1.5 points. Crackdown 3 will be at the Microsoft conference, and it will not look cool despite my love for Terry Crews, and it will have Battle Royale. So, like a quarter point. 'Cause it was at the Microsoft conference. It looked kind of cool. Despite my love for Terry Crews.
And no Battle Royale.
No Battle Royale. So 1.75 points. Halo 6 revealed with Battle Royale mode. Half a point?
Another quarter point.
Half a point. That's two things in there. Half a point. So that's 2.25 points. We should stop doing this. Nothing will be shown on Final Fantasy Remake as much as I want it to be there. 1 point. 3.25.
2.5.
There will be exactly one major surprise gamer announcement during the Sony presser. The rest of it will focus on known entities. There was no surprise, so 0 points. Anthem will be there, will look amazing, and have no real-world money loot boxes other than potentially cosmetic items. That's another point. The Elder Scrolls will be announced. Booyah. And the Division 2 will be shown, and it will look awesome. And my bonus one, Marvel's The Avengers will not be shown. I think I did pretty good.
Yeah, you went with safe stuff, though.
That is not really. I went with Crackdown 3 having Battle Royale and Halo having Battle
you
Royale.
still gave yourself points for that, you know. So, yeah.
Okay, I'll take them away. Let's see what I got without the half pointers. All right, so no PSVR. Cyberpunk 2077 got a big demo and gameplay, so that's one. I won't give myself any points for Crackdown 3 or Halo 6. Nothing will be shown on the Final Fantasy 7 remake. That's a full point, and that's that wasn't a safe bet.
No.
Anthem will be there, and all those things I said that were all true.
Yeah, but they announced that beforehand.
They
announced all of that beforehand.
All right. Fine. I'll take that one away. The next Elder Scrolls will be announced. There was no guarantee for that. So that's still 3 points.
Still 3.
And the Division 2 will be shown and will look awesome. That's 4 points.
I give you a half point because I don't think it looked awesome, but you know.
The point is, your prognostication champion for 2018 is the guy you can't see on the camera, but the folks at home can. I will claim my throne. So, plus the Marvel's Avengers not being shown. Man, I didn't want that to be the case, but
yeah, I really thought, as many people thought that wasn't going to be there. I really thought that would be the surprise ace in the hole, but nope.
Oh, I thought it would be too. That's kind of why I covered my bases by saying there was going to be one giant surprise. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So yeah, that's going to bring us then to the part of the show where we like to thank our patrons for supporting us. And you can get your name on the end of every show that we do. So thank you, Naomi. Thank you, John. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. Who am I drawing a blank on? Regina, Pat, Arturo, and I'm still drawing a blank on somebody. It'll roll in the end. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person. My brain's fried after E3. If you'd like your name on any of our shows, all of our shows, as a matter of fact, you can simply pledge $1 per month. You can do so at patreon.com/gamersledge. And hi, creative name totally. Welcome. What was your favorite? Before we go, we'll finish out. Were your favorite three things from this E3? Go for it, Mitchell.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts 3, Ghost of Tsushima, and Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Nice. And was there a surprise one for you?
Probably Fire Emblem. I kind of wasn't expecting a new Fire Emblem game to be announced this soon.
And
So that was kind of a surprise for me.
How about you, Matt?
Top three was for me Ghost of Tsushima, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, and Spider-Man. And as far as like a surprise, I'm going to have to double dip here too, because The Awesome Adventure of Captain Spirit, I had absolutely no idea anything was coming from them. Don't Nod already had a surprise with Twin Mirror. Totally wasn't expecting anything from them on this universe, and to get a free to play.
Matt never left the church.
Yeah, I never left the church. Free to play prequel to Life is Strange 2, and to have them announce that this is going to be a whole universe, a whole world of somehow loosely interconnected stories.
So then,
just kind of blew my mind.
Minor question, quick. Is it confirmed that Twin Mirrors is in the same universe or a different one?
It has not been confirmed whether or not that doesn't seem to be a part of the
I was going
Life
to
is
say
Strange verse.
the art style looks different, so I don't think it would be. But
Yeah, I don't think it is. It's just another game they're doing because they were bored because they didn't do Life is Strange, the prequel one.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, my three would have to be Ghost of Tsushima. I am so excited about that. I can't even see straight.
How long has it been since we've both been excited about the same game, like the most coming out of E3?
It's been a long time, but that game, somebody, I think it was Jimmy, said, oh, maybe they'll announce a new Bushido Blade, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh my god. And his stances are correct, and the moves that he's doing are real.
it looks beautiful.
Spider-Man is probably my number 2.
Yes!
But only because it's coming sooner than my number 3. The number 3 is actually the one I'm probably most excited about, and that
You're going to go with Division, aren't you?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, Cyberpunk. Okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
Which we
until
did.
It's a persistent always online world.
It is not. It is a single player game. Will be no microtransactions for it, but we did learn today that when you're building your characters to create a character, no two people will be the same. It can be either male or female, but as part of your character creation background process, you actually pick things like I ran away from home or whatever, and why are you in the city? And it does not shoehorn you into the classes, but there are 3 classes, and Netrunner is one of them, and that is what I will play. And we also found out it is a first-person game. So it is a first-person RPG. It does have shooting in it, but they are being very adamant about saying that it is a first-person RPG with shooter elements as opposed to a first-person shooter that has RPG elements.
Deus Ex or
It's getting a lot of comparisons to Deus Ex and
BioShock
among other
or
things.
Fallout.
No, what was the? It wasn't. It was Deus Ex and something else that one specific person said. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I guess my excitement for that one is put off just because I know it's so far off.
Oh, Deus Ex and The Witcher 3, which
Witcher 3. Okay.
I'm totally down
that's
with that.
third person, but okay.
Yeah. Well, apparently when you're driving, you can go into third person mode, but not the rest of the time.
Oh, driving. Ew. Driving in games like that and me do not have a good history.
They said it was pretty responsive, and you're going to be in the vehicle a lot, so they really wanted to tighten that up. So they said it's an integral part of getting around the city.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And with that, just for Matt, I'm going to forego the weekly piece of wisdom. Other than if you've not checked out trailers for stuff that you are interested in E3, go check out the trailers from E3. They're amazing. Check out the gameplay footage. We posted a ton of stuff on our Twitter and Facebook pages of games that you may have missed out of E3 that did not get shown on the big screen or had very little time on the big screen and people don't know what they are. Concrete
Genie
is one of those games that I highly recommend you check out the gameplay on. It looks amazing, and that's coming to everything under the sun. So until next week, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for participating, guys, and game on.
Game on.
Game on.